How to create impeccable results despite the odds. It is common that life events, different experiences have kind of introduced different perspective to life to different people. All right. Adverse life events have the power to shape how we see things. They kind of sometimes create the lens through which we see the world, and it in a way, if we pay too much attention to such adverse experiences that we have had, we tend to prioritize our dissatisfaction over our genuine preferences, which means that it's as if we're giving more attention to what we do not like, and what we like is there waiting for us to act. So how do we create impeccable results despite all these odds that are there? Because as long as those odds are there, they become obstacles that are significant enough to stop us from achieving our outcomes, that our desired outcomes. The first thing I want us to realize is that outcomes should be powerful. Your desired outcome should be powerful, and they should be ecological, which means they should be natural to you. So when I say they should be powerful, it should be something that is compelling enough, motivating enough for you to even want to make a move in the first place. Can you imagine yourself watching a very boring movie or a slow movie? Your mind cannot even start your mind is possibly even moving faster than the movie, like you have reached the next scene before the movie drags there. Half the time people who watch such movies just abandon it and say, you know what, I have other better things to do with my time. The same thing when you create desired outcomes that are not compelling or motivating enough. So it must be something that is capable of waking you up early in the morning to say, I have something to pursue. It must be ecological. It must be something that aligns with your ideal, that aligns with your personal ideal, your self-perception. It shouldn't be something that is alien to you, so that you'll be able to run with it with enthusiasm, with the required zeal, and even when you come across obstacles, you know that this is what you're going for because it connects with you personally. So how do you create this impeccable results? The first thing is that you have to prioritize positivity around you, which means you create positive environment around yourself. In your mind should be a positive environment to even receive what you are trying to create, and then the environment where you find yourself also. So you create positivity around you, where your mind accepts that this is what we want to do and we can achieve it. It is doable. I have the capacity to achieve it. Remember, we have all that we require for life and godliness. So the strength, the wisdom, everything we need is within us. We just need to know how to harness them. All right. The next thing is that well-formed outcomes, they are self-initiated. So it's an inside job. It has to be from inside out, which means it must be something that connects with who you want to be, who you are, so that 2 years down the line, when you have created the outcome, it's not like it has nothing to do with you. What we're saying in essence is that for it to be congruent, it has to be aligned with what you want from inside out, not what people expect of you, not a reaction to the labels that have been placed on you. You are not reacting to events. You are taking decisions based on where you see yourself going, based on your potentials, based on what you desire to achieve. So, for example, you say, I want to establish a successful business this year. Is it because somebody has said something about your capacity to establish business, or is it because you feel establishing a successful business will create more jobs, will help you support families, will impact more lives? When you look at it, now why am I taking this decision? Why it is important for it to be self-initiated is because it becomes easier for you to maintain interest and sustain your momentum, even in the face of difficulty. But if it is something that is coming from external influence based on you responding, it might be difficult for you to actually sustain your interest and maintain momentum as you go on. The next thing that you want to consider is that that outcome that you are setting for yourself that you want to achieve should be something that you have total control over. And what are the two things that we have total control over? They are our efforts and our attitude. Those are the two things you have total control over. So your effort is, what are you doing? What actions are you going to take towards achieving those goals? You must be able to outline, these are the actions I'll take to achieve my impeccable result, to achieve my desired outcome. Then your attitude is how you're going about it. What do I need to do? How am I responding to different experiences that I'm faced with along the line? How much of effort am I putting is also an attitude, Then the positivity thing that we have mentioned, these are the things that you have total control over, and you focus on those things to help you achieve those impeccable results. All right. For example, if you say that I want people to treat me with respect this year, that might not be a properly formed, outcome. It's because it depends on people, that you don't have total control over how people treat you. But if you now say, I want to act in a way that when people see me, they treat me with respect, now you are taking responsibility. You are taking control of your effort and your attitude, and it becomes something that you can achieve. Also, to achieve impeccable results, to create that impeccable result, it has to be sensation based. What do I mean by sensation based? It should be something that connects with your senses. You should be able to feel it. How will it feel if I achieve this? How will it look when I achieve this, And when you are able to visualize it continuously, your brain will be able to receive an abundance of useful information. The more you visualize, the more you sense it, the more your brain connects, and you start paving way for you to go after those desired outcomes. Well-formed outcomes, or well-formed results should be concise, and they follow a pattern, which means it should not be something that is so daunting for you to achieve. So if you say, this year I want to establish a successful business, so you want to break it down to bite sizes that you can actually follow up on. What do I want to do within the first quarter of this year, second quarter, third quarter? Okay, what do I want to do in the first month of the first quarter, in the first week of the first quarter, in the first week of the first month, and in the first day of the first week? When you break it down into bite sizes like that, it becomes easier for you to approach. And then as you're approaching it, you are able to actually measure your attainment of each milestone. So it is important for it to be concise and follow a pattern, even if it's something as trivial as okay, I want to write a book. If you want to write a book, what do you need to do? Maybe I'll go online and just first research, check what topics, how to phrase my book topic. This is the idea of the book I want to write, so how am I going to phrase the title of the book? Maybe it's just doing that research online. That is a step towards your outcome, and you're taking other steps every day. Okay, for me to establish a successful business, then maybe I'll go for someone to coach me, I'll go for webinars, I'll go for seminars, I'll go for online training, I'll seek mentorship. Whatever it is, you are taking one step at a time. And sometimes you say, okay, so it requires business plan. How do you write business plan? I need to learn how to write business plan, and different things like that. You start putting those actions into it, and you see that you are moving towards your goal. The next thing is that you want to itemize or identify the tools that you will require to achieve your outcomes. What are the tools that you need? What are the necessary resources? What can limit the progress if you do not have them? How do you achieve these resources? How do you acquire these resources? You want to look at how to do that, and then you put them together. This will help us to be able to follow it through. Sometimes you even want to think, if I'm talking about resources, you're looking at human resources. It's not always money. most of the time we always say, I don't have money, I want to write a book, I don't have computer, I can't start that business, and all those things. Those are limitations. So when you start itemizing them, you see that you're crossing each hurdle as you move on, and you see that money comes in, but it's not enough to limit you from moving towards your impeccable result. You must consider the situation where you want the results. In what situation do you want the results? Who will be there when you start seeing those outcomes? What environment will you be in? Think of all these things. Allow yourself to visualize and step into it as if it's already manifesting in your life. Also, you need to have a measure. Know how you will identify the achievement of those outcomes. What I mean is, do you want to measure it in monetary terms? Do you want to measure it in terms of milestone, in terms of awards and recognition? How do you want to measure it? When you set yourself a desired outcome, a desired goal to achieve, how do you want to measure it? So you must know what success means to you. If you say you want to establish a successful business, what does success mean to you? So when you have defined what success means, then you align your attainment or achievement with your definition. Then you know whether you have achieved it or not, because what success means to one person might be different from what it means to another. So you must define what it means to you to achieve that outcome that you desire. Doing this takes you every day closer to your desired goal, your desired outcome, your desired lifestyle, and it saves you the hassle of living according to people's expectation, according to your adverse experiences, and you start seeing yourself being committed to your victorious future, because you can either be focusing on the pains of your past, or you can be focusing and committing yourself to the victory of your future. And the future is waiting for you. It's right there. Even today, there are so many things you can do, and without staying in that place where it looks as if you're allowing your pain to stop your gain. Do not allow your pain to stop your gain. Forge ahead. Create that desire. Create that dream. Write down your desired outcome. Start pursuing them, and you see yourself having a happier life. Thank you, and see you next time.